So for those today of the physical media enterprise and the hobby that is collecting video games and physical media such as anime, bad news came from Sony itself. The end that they want is finally coming true. They want to basically take your rights away by getting rid of all physical media production for video games. And eventually that will lead to anime because they are in charge of Crunchyroll. And Sony, once they start the ball, they just keep on rolling. So as of today, Sony has announced that in 2028, January, they will be ending all their physical disc production for all new games across Sony consoles. This also came with the news of them closing the PS3 and Vita digital store. They already started the shutdown. It will be hitting August in Mexico, Honduras, and Nicaragua, which is kind of weird. And then at the rest of the world will get it in July. Those will be taken down. So what does that mean? Games that are of the PS3 variety that only got like a small release physically and mostly were on the PlayStation Store for the PS3 are going to shoot up in price. Look at what happened with the Xbox 360. That is a good example of that. Same for the PS Vita. All these digital games and stuff that are only on the Vita, and same for the PS3 store, or only on the PS3 store, are now going to be lost to the sands of time. Unless someone does a big, thing like what is his name? The completionist did with the 3DS store, where he bought every single game and cataloged it and saved it and gave it to an archive to preserve them and make it free for everyone. Unless they do something like that, it's going to be very hard for people to enjoy if they really did have something they enjoyed on the store that itself. So, what does that mean overall? Well, I have a conspiracy theory which is slowly becoming true. Sony just wants to take away your consumer rights. By getting rid of all physical discs, you will not be able to own anything. That's what they want. That is their end goal, because that means they can pull the rights from you at any moment. They have done that before in the past, i.e. when Sony bought Crunchyroll and they bought Funimation. What happened to the Funimation store itself? Well, a lot of things happened. There are a lot of people that bought and got digital copies of anime. Their money. They bought full shows. Sony took all that away from them. There are people that lost thousands upon thousands of dollars in money for anime shows. So back in the day, for those who didn't know, if you bought an anime from Funimation, it also came with a digital code where you got that same thing in one big bundle. So that means you had two copies of the show, one on the PC and one on one physical. They just got away with it. So there was a patron in the Boxer-chan Patreon that tried to follow up and figure out what they were supposed to do. They lost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars because of this, because they were like, I live in a small apartment, I need to not collect physical, I need to have, just digital. Well, after 6 hours on the phone with customer service, they offered them a $50 Microsoft gift card. Not even a Sony PlayStation gift card, a Microsoft gift card. They basically don't care that you owned all these things. You paid to own all these shows digitally. Well, you don't have them anymore. Tough shit. It doesn't matter what you think. They don't care about the consumer, and this is pretty much proven it. They are wanting control, as my chat is over there in the corner stating. They want control, which is all this is. The CEOs of video game companies have called us stupid for years. They called us ignorant. They called us all these things because they want to take control of the consumer. Because the less rights you have, the more they can get over on you. GTA 6 is the biggest game that's coming out. This is going to affect their date, most likely. This is going to affect things that come out in the future. GTA 6 will probably be the biggest game with the last physical copies released. Kingdom Hearts 4 that people have been wanting and hyped about, not going to get a physical copy, most likely. Because there's no release date yet. There's no actual release date for Kingdom Hearts 4. So if it happens after January of 2028, guess what? You don't get disc anymore. So for people like me, archivists are scrambling and trying to figure out what to do. I love physical games. I love the ability to own my game. That's why my collection is mostly PS4 and backwards. Because PS4, you still kind of own the games, but not really. PS3 was the last generation, 360, all that stuff where you've actually owned the games. PS4 and onwards, they could just rip the rights from you and IP ban you and do a bunch of other stuff. There are a lot of people that are trying to figure out how to preserve history, how to save what we can. And from moving forward, no new games, you won't own them anymore. Now, there is a slight plus side to this. Most games nowadays also get a PC version. So this only truly and deeply affects PlayStation exclusives and soon to be Xbox exclusives, because I've noticed if you just walk down the Walmart alleys, there's hardly any Xbox physical games anymore. They're still making physical games, but it is nowhere near where it used to be. But they haven't stopped the physical production just yet. So your game aisles are going to look a lot different. They'll probably go the way of what Nintendo was doing, where you can buy the case and get a digital code. That's probably what they're going to do if they still decide to make cases and do all this stuff. I recommend you start getting games that you really love. If there are some things that are just not really available, especially on the PS3 and the PlayStation Vita, find the physical copies as soon as possible. You need to get the games. There's going to be a surge in prices. There are going to be scumbags that take advantage of this. And as my chat members are saying, they already done this for the Switch 2, where they're doing the digital codes and stuff like that. And I'm with them. I kind of avoid them as much as possible. I really don't have any PlayStation or Switch 2 games. I have a few because I got them on dirt cheap sale. That is the only reason why. Otherwise, I want physical carts. I want things to be physical. I will not get digital codes. PC is a different story. It'd be different if it's just the PC game, then it's fine. Like, there's going to be no physical copy. That's a whole different thing. But if I were to buy Kingdom Hearts 4, which will also be on the computer, and I expect a physical cart or disc in there, and I get a code, I would be pissed. And they legally have to tell you on the front of the game that it is just a digital code. So I don't know. I just find this wild and a crazy thing that Sony is just going down this route, but they've been talking about it for years. And one of the other examples on the anime side is when Sony bought Crunchyroll, they bought Right Stuff, who also produced their own anime. They took that away, and now there's a bunch of anime that are in right hell, unable to be found anywhere. Crunchyroll's pulling stuff off the Crunchyroll app and keeping it from other people. So things are slowly becoming lost media. Physical prices are shooting through the roof, and there's no way to access them because they're also taking down all the bootleg sites they come across. So what are you supposed to do? You're just supposed to let these shows rot and go into obscurity hell and never find them again? That's what they want. They don't want you to have that stuff. They don't want you to have all these older things. They want control. That's all this is. At the end of the day, Sony is a pseudo-monopoly trying to get bigger because they are slowly, in the West at least, trying to take over all the anime stuff. There's been rumors going around that they're looking at buying, like, not Hulu, they're looking at High Dive and some other things. And obviously that hasn't happened yet. So maybe there might be a chance if people really invest into Hive Dive or the other physical place or these other streaming platforms. Maybe we can save anime here and there. There are people like Discotech out there that are taking older IPs and setting them aside and making them physical. They're able to get a hold of this stuff. We don't know. We honestly don't know. Right now is a time of worry and time of scarcity and scared. People are just scared and anxious about what this news means. And on paper, it's horrible. It is detestable. It is disgusting. It is just something that we shouldn't be dealing with as consumers. But as time goes on, things get more expensive for them. They just don't care about us as a consumer, because at the end of the day, they're like, either way, they're gonna buy the game. It doesn't matter. So these are my personal thoughts and things that I've been noticing nonstop throughout different things. So let me know what you guys think about this. I'm live over on Twitch at the time of recording, so feel free to stop by whenever you come across it. I just think that now's the time for you to buy physical anime, and now's the time to buy physical games when you can. If you ever need physical anime, make sure you check out Boxer-chan, Chris anime DVD service. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. For those who know, you know. But until next time, folks, I will give you more updates when they come across the board. But I will see you all later. Bye-bye.